Al Jazeera Podcasts.
I'm David Enders, and this is The Take. As Israel's war on Gaza, Lebanon, and Syria continues, we're coming to you on Sundays with a weekly roundup. This week, Hamas responded positively to Donald Trump's ceasefire proposal, as both sides said there were still details that needed to be worked out. Israel detained hundreds of activists aboard boats attempting to deliver aid to Gaza. Today is Sunday, October 5. It is day 730 of the war in Gaza, where more than 67,000 Palestinians have been killed. On Saturday, U.S. President Donald Trump called on Israel to halt attacks in Gaza after Hamas responded positively to a proposal for a ceasefire put forth by Trump late last month. But on Sunday in central Gaza, Al Jazeera's Hani Mahmoud said that Palestinians had not yet seen significant changes.
People were hoping for a good sleep as of last night, but that did not happen given the intensity of the aerial attacks that targeted not only Gaza City, but here in where they were told to evacuate to, namely the central area. Major parts of the central area were designated by the Israeli military as a newly designated safe zones, were relentlessly bombed by the heavy artillery and the fighter jets. On the ground, the reality tells a different story. Continuous attacks here in the area where people are displaced, as well as in Gaza City, where the majority of the Israeli military assaults and the ground offensive has been taking place for the past weeks, particularly on areas like the Sabra and the Tufah neighborhood, and more to the western part of the vicinity of the Shifa hospital. As many as 70 people have been killed, 46 of them were in Gaza City. And that's within just 24 hours of an announcement that was made by the American President Donald Trump that has, within it, he ordered Israel to stop bombing Gaza City. But on the ground, nothing really changed. The misery continued to unfold, as well as the more displacement that took place in Gaza City continued to happen as people tried to move from one place to another and try to avoid the area that are being bombed relentlessly by the Israeli military.
In Washington, D.C., Al Jazeera's Rosiland Jordan said that there were still details that needed to be worked out. While Hamas has agreed to release Israeli captives still held in Gaza, it has not agreed to other parts of Trump's proposal.
There will be informal discussions both on Sunday and then more official discussions reportedly on Monday in Egypt, which is hosting this latest round of mediation. There will be mediators and negotiators from the United States, from Jordan, from Qatar, from Egypt, and from other Arab countries, also working with the Israeli delegation and with Hamas negotiators, although it is not expected that the Israeli and Hamas negotiators will meet face-to-face, nor will Hamas negotiators meet directly with U.S. negotiators. There is ample American public disapproval of the war on Gaza, a disapproval of how the Israeli military has conducted the war, criticism of the U.S. for not doing enough to prevent the humanitarian catastrophe in Gaza. The president himself has said that the images and the videos of children starving, dying from starvation as a consequence of this war has moved him to try to end this war once and for all. But what has happened so far, analysts suggest, could be upended by those who are opposed to this war ending, whether on the side of Hamas or on the side of some of those in Benjamin Netanyahu's government.
On Thursday, the Israeli military stopped dozens of boats bound for Gaza and detained more than 400 activists who were on board. Israel deported 137 of those activists to Turkey on Saturday. Some of them reported that Israeli forces had forced Swedish activist Greta Thunberg to kiss an Israeli flag and subjected her and others to abuse after their arrests. Here's Al Jazeera's Mohammed Jamjoom.
The confrontation had been building since early on Tuesday, when more than 40 boats entered what they called a high-risk area in the Mediterranean Sea, where the Israeli military has previously stopped humanitarian missions to Gaza. Israel calls this an active combat zone, but its operation has been directed against civilians, including Swedish activist Greta Thunberg, who was also arrested. Thousands of kilometers away on land, demonstrations broke out across nearly a dozen cities in Europe and elsewhere as word of the Israeli action spread. With more than 500 people taking part in the flotilla, despite many being detained, there's a sense of defiance and a commitment to continue to highlight the suffering of the Palestinian people in Gaza.
And that's The Take for Sunday, October 5. Please join us again tomorrow. This episode was produced by me, David Enders. Our sound designer is Alex Roldan. Alexandra Locke is The Take's executive producer, and Ney Alvarez is Al Jazeera's head of audio.